is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. We begin with a developing story. A Miami-Dade school psychologist faced a judge this afternoon. 62-year-old Dr. Robert Turner is charged with child pornography. A judge set his bond at $28,000 and no contact with children. CBS News Miami's Yvonne Taylor has the report.
Robert Lee Turner's bond was set at $28,000. If he posts bonds, he would leave through one of the doors of this building. That has not happened. Mr. Turner, as you can see visibly in this mugshot, he was found, according to police, in the bathroom of his house in Southwest Miami-Dade. According to the arrest report, investigators said they received a cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The tip submitted by social media platform alleged 62-year-old Turner distributed videos that contain child sexual abuse material to other users too. This man is still here at TGK. Coming up at 5 p.m. we'll have more information on this case, the charges that he faced, and an additional element that we received from the neighbors. We are in Northwest Miami-Dade. Yvonne Taylor, CBS News, Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside, don't let those clouds fool you. We are tracking extreme heat across South Florida. Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler joins us now. Cindy, I was just telling you I was outside shooting a story about the heat. It is just awful out there.
Yeah, and you're right, Naja. Today we upped it a little bit. Look at these heat indices. 106 is what it feels like right now in Miami. Key West was up to 110 for the feels like temperatures, and 92, well, it was higher than that. It was 94. So even though we do have a few clouds out there, we've got some low-level moisture, and that's pushing that feels like temperature way up. So there's no doubt. This is why we have the heat advisory in effect until 6 p.m. That's going to run through 6 p.m. on Wednesday. That includes the Keys. These heat indices way up there in the triple digits. But we got to get back to the tropics because we're still dealing with Ernesto. Actually, some strengthening going on today. Hurricane hunters have been out here. We've got good outflow, so this thing is breathing. It's looking healthy, getting very close now to the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. So at this point, this is the track. This is what we're looking at, going off to the northwest and eventually north, and then strengthening even more, expected to become a Category 2 hurricane. It could even go to Category 3. That's not out of the question. Very close to that. There's very warm water out here. So Bermuda is the one that's going to have to be watching for this as we head into the weekend. At this point, we have a tropical storm warning in effect for the islands and a hurricane watch now for the Virgin Islands, but Puerto Rico is still under that tropical storm warning. So Virgin Islands are going to get the effects tonight with heavy rains and gusty winds, and then eventually tomorrow Puerto Rico getting brushed by the southern end of this. Not a direct, but a southern end of it. So showers and thunderstorms trying to develop this afternoon, and all that heat and humidity. Of course, we've got the sea breeze that wants to come in, and that's what starts these out over the interior because we have that onshore flow, that easterly flow. So these little storms can produce some gusty winds and heavy downpours, some lightning, but most of this is going to stay well off to our west tonight. Rain chances will be up a little bit tomorrow, then way up on Thursday, Friday, and it looks like a drier weekend, although there is a little bit of uncertainty as far as the weekend is concerned. But we do know it's going to continue to be hot. There's going to be humidity out there. There's an actual cold front that wants to make a run at us, but likely it's going to just stall out, will not make its way through here, so we'll stay on the south side of that. But for the time being, heat goes on. Yes, tomorrow with a high of 93 on Thursday, good chance for rain Thursday and Friday. The dust will be gone. And then this weekend, lower rain chances, but we can't get away from those temperatures, though, highs in the lower 90s.
New details on a Molotov cocktail attack. The co-owner of the iconic Broadwalk restaurant in Hollywood believes an arsonist has struck again. You're looking at the new video. It shows a man in a red car once again throwing a Molotov cocktail at the back of a restaurant early this morning. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch is in Hollywood with the report.
The Broadwalk restaurant manager cannot believe this has happened again. Take a look at this. These are burn marks from the incident. Now, the manager says brand new video shows flames erupting after the Molotov cocktail was thrown at the restaurant at 4:50 this morning at 1400 North Surf Road. Fortunately, there was limited damage. This could have been much worse. The co-owner and the manager say that they have seen this video and they believe it is the same person who threw a Molotov cocktail at the restaurant at 4:45 in the morning on June 24th and drove away in his red car.
Looks like the same guy that came 2 months ago, month and a half ago. Same car. By the footage, looks like the same person. He stopped in front of us again, in front of a parking lot. We don't have any problem with nobody here, with our neighbors or the former employees. They all, I mean, you have a big rotation of employees coming and leave, but we didn't have any problem with any of them in the last year. And I had no clue who could be. Definitely help, because it's happening to us right now and could happen to anybody else.
Restaurant manager Dennis Almeida is baffled by this incident and has more video to show us of the red car. We have reached out to Hollywood police, and we should have an update in an hour on CBS News Miami. In Hollywood, Peter Dench, CBS News Miami.
A new day brings better results. Metal detectors impacted the first day of school, but it was a much better start on this second day. CBS News Miami's Terry Hornstein is at West Broward High School in Pembroke Pines with more.
I know it's for the safety of the school that we need to have the metal detectors, but I'd rather not have to wait 40 minutes in the hot sun every day. It's very inconvenient, which is why my parents dropped me off way earlier today.
Tony Hernandez showed up to West Broward High School an hour before the first bell after a chaotic start to the first day.
We got to the school about 15 minutes late because of the car traffic, but the line for the metal detector was about maybe 40, 50 minutes, about an hour of a wait in the sun.
I was hot, I was sweaty. All my friends were too. Like, we were all just complaining about how huge this line was.
On Tuesday, a sigh of relief from students and staff. Across the district, a smooth start to the second day.
From my team that is spread out all over the district, they're reporting no issues at other schools.
The superintendent, Dr. Howard Hepburn, at Cypress Bay, the largest high school in the district. He posted this video to X.
Students keep up the great work in preparing as you get off the bus or out of the car.
At West Broward, a small line, Chopper 4 flying over Western High, MacArthur, and Dillard, where the line started to get long but was moving. A much different morning than the first day, when lines snaked around buildings as each student went through the newly implemented metal detectors.
The lines are less crowded, and it's very easy to get through.
For these students, the extra layer of protection, worth it.
It was really nice that they implemented the metal detectors for our safety.
So again, a reminder for students as the first week of school rolls on. If you have a laptop, a cell phone, a binder with a metal binding in it, anything that might set off those metal detectors, the advice to take them out of your backpack before you get to the front of the line. In Pembroke Pines, Terry Hornstein, CBS News, Miami.
When we come back, Starbucks shakeup, what the company just announced, and the connection to Chipotle. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Voters decide. Former President Donald Trump's much anticipated conversation with Elon Musk got off to a rocky start last night. The Republican presidential nominee discussed several topics, including last month's assassination attempt. CBS News Miami's Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Actually did something that was impossible.
In a 2-hour interview with Elon Musk on the social media platform X, former President Donald Trump recounted last month's attempt on his life and said he'd be back in that same Pennsylvania county in October to campaign.
What was it like for you?
Not pleasant. I didn't know I had that much blood. The doctors later told me that the ear is a place that is a very bloody place if you're going to get hit.
Musk, who also owns Tesla and SpaceX, reiterated he's backing Trump and said he wanted to reach independent voters.
You are the path to prosperity, and I think Kamala is the opposite.
With the race tightening, Trump stepped up his attacks on his Democratic rival, Vice President Kamala Harris.
Third-rate, phony candidate. She's incompetent. She hasn't done an interview since this whole scam started.
In response, the Harris campaign said in a statement that Trump's entire campaign is in service of people like Elon Musk and himself, quote, self-obsessed rich guys who will sell out the middle class and who cannot run a live stream in the year 2024. referencing the event's technical difficulties.
The Harris campaign says the vice president has been working on her economic agenda and will roll it out this Friday during a speech in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Campaign officials tell CBS News she will make tackling inflation a, quote, day one priority and will also take on corporate price gouging. Wednesday, former President Trump will also be speaking in the battleground state of North Carolina on the economy. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Turning now to the crisis in the Middle East, Israel and the U.S. remain on alert from attacks from Iran and Hezbollah. Tensions are high in the Middle East. The U.S. says Iran could strike Israel as soon as this week. This after Iran vowed to avenge the recent assassinations of Hamas and Hezbollah leaders. Today, Iran rejected pleas from the U.S. and Europe not to attack Israel. In this afternoon's Health Watch, how much dairy is too much? Well, that's up for debate. For many Americans, about 10% of all calories come from dairy. Current guidelines suggest 3 servings a day to get that necessary calcium and vitamin D. Experts say it's true you can get those same nutrients from plant sources, but dairy may be helpful for other reasons.
Milk, for example, is linked pretty clearly to lower risk of high blood pressure, low risk of stroke, and cheese, and especially yogurt, is linked to low risk of diabetes. And all dairy seems to be linked to greater muscle mass and less fat mass. And those benefits seem to be really, again, unrelated to kind of the traditional fat or calcium or vitamin D content, but related to other things. For example, fermentation. Cheese is a fermented food, or probiotics in yogurt.
Doctors say nutrition science, like other sciences, is always evolving. The CEO of Starbucks is being replaced by the CEO of Chipotle. The chairman and CEO of Chipotle will take over next month. Today's announcement came as the coffee giant deals with weak demand and disgruntled investors. That's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.